my job. Ugh. It seems real and not real. Like, this is the first week that I did not clock in, go to work, although I definitely went to work in other ways. So let's digress. I've been working since I was 12 years old, okay? Like, legit. We had Foxworth Mobile Wash, and I started doing the weekends in the family business with detailing cars. That's how I originally started. And then it turned into the weekends and any break, summer break, winter break, Christmas break. It didn't matter what, it was a break. I would go to work, and like, I did that my whole life from 12 to like probably 23, because like the whole goal was that I would be running Foxworth Mobile Wash. And when I graduated high school, I went into that full time with like the whole, again, end goal was you're going to be running Foxworth Mobile Wash. And the business went out of business. The recession hit, and detailing was the first thing to get cut in the automotive industry. A lot of people went in-house instead of using third parties, and what are you gonna do? But I will tell you that my soul took a hit, because like my life plan was taking over the business, and then that didn't happen. And there was a period of time in between leaving like Foxworth Mobile Wash going out of business to where I'm like, okay, I gotta get a job, where it was day-to-day grind. Can we wash your car? Can we detail this? Can we do this? Like, door-to-door hustling to get day-to-day food. And it just kind of sent my family in a spiral in different directions. And like, it just gave me fear. And I spent a huge chunk of my life afraid. And I wish I didn't, I wish I was more grabbed life by the balls. But I was scared. I really was. And so this like leap of faith, listen, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I'm still scared. Because I have lived the life of what happens when you go for your dreams and then it doesn't work. I know the consequences very, very well. And I'm so, so scared that I just cannot let that happen. I cannot. But I went from Foxworth Mobile Wash to the day-to-day thing to where I couldn't take it anymore. Then I went to work for a pool company, and for 8 years I did that, and then put in my 2 weeks notice and went to work for a distribution center that I just left like literally last week. And I worked there for 5.5 years, and they gave me such an amazing send-off. Like, I can't tell you that it was like the perfect close to a chapter. Like, I got a cake and best wishes, and I'm in really, really good standing, where they told me if that anything ever changes in life, I can always come back. And I am so grateful for that, but I will die. Because I'm like, this is me. I'm shooting my shot. My husband told me that I have a year, that he would give me the year to really 100% pursue my dreams, make Flipside as big as possible, to where it's, I don't have to go back to work. And I know that requires sacrifice from the family, and I am not letting that sacrifice go in vain. And I know that I've had to go head to head against my own fears, right? And even my son came to me, when I first started talking to the family, like after me and my husband already made this decision, but we start talking to the kids a little bit, and I start telling them, mommy's going to be around a lot more, because you have to understand, like, having a full-time job and running your business after that, and then also doing like side jobs for extra income, and being a fully present parent, like, it's a lot of areas, and it's doable. Don't get me wrong. I've done it for 3 years, but I really want to give like a focused intention, in each area instead of just being so spread out. And I really want to take Flipside to the next level. Like there's a whole lot of plans. I've got a lot of different pivots and directions, and I mean like the impact for Flipside I want to make huge. All right. But speaking to my kids about it, one of them had voiced, my oldest was like, but mommy, if you leave your job, then how do you pay bills? If you don't pay the bills, then we get kicked out. If we get kicked out, we have no home. If we have no home, we're homeless. And if you have no money, what about food? Mommy, I don't want to be homeless and hungry. And like, oh my goodness. First off, it's one thing to have those fears for yourself, but hearing your kid have that fear is like, it's heartbreaking. And and his straight through the heart. I mean, like, you could have killed me. You could have killed me. And so I had to assure him, like, hey, listen, no, that's not going to happen. Mommy will never let that happen. Mommy is going to be doing some Uber Eats for some income, but mommy's also really putting in a lot of work for Flipside, and it's going to pay off. And we will have to make some tightening of the budget, so we're not going to have as much leeways in one direction or another. But one thing you will never be, as long as mommy is breathing, is homeless. And like, it's a real reality. We actually help the homeless with Project Backpack a lot. So he's seen it, and we have family members who live that life right now, unfortunately, because there's just a lot going on. And so he's seen it. Like, it's a very viable thing that nobody, we have to acknowledge. And, it got to the point where, I don't want him to have to live in that fear either. So we had a couple conversations, and he started kind of seeing that we're still okay. And I had to let him know that, like, mommy works for herself now. And he was like, wait, you're your own boss? And I was like, yeah, and so someone asked, like, oh, does your mom doesn't have a job? And he was like, mommy works for herself. Like, she is her job. And it gave me a sense of pride that, he hadn't really seen entrepreneurship before, because I've operated in fear, and he's operated like, I didn't even know he had those concerns, but he did. He's a very smart boy. And it gives me great pleasure to help turn those concerns around. And it also gives me like a fierce motivation to keep making him proud that, yes, there is sacrifice, but that you don't have to be scared of sacrifice. There's certain things that we can and will go without, but what we won't go without are these. Like, there's certain principles, like you can still rest easy, and I'll tell you what, entrepreneurship is a pressure, because I'm also doing Uber for some income and some like odd jobs and stuff like that, on top of running the business and everything. But I have to get up. There is no, you don't feel like it. Like, no. Look, I have 365 days in this year, and now we're on day 15, so even less than that, right? And I'm gonna make the most of it, and I'm gonna face these things. But when you look at the budget and you look at the bills, and since I'm no longer surrounded by people, I'm surrounded by myself. So that means I'm surrounded by my thoughts. Like, it's a roller coaster of emotions that you just have to handle, and you have to get super focused. Like, I see my fears. Oh, I see them. I feel them. But I have to say no. Just no. I will not give in to fear. I will not pull this family down. I will not succumb to laziness. I will not get depressed, or I will not go down these rabbit holes, because I can't afford to. I don't got the time to. I've got 1 year. I've got one shot. This is it. So, welcome to my journey. Faith over fear. It's real.